And if you are, oh, you maybe you can't hear me so well. All right. If your legs are down on the ground, you can have them nice, like a hips width apart, and your shoulders align with your hips. And just lengthen your spine and imagine it's this beautiful string of pearls of light. And it stretches from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And just bring your attention to the crown of the head and just notice any sensation there. There might be some tingling, or maybe there's nothing. And then maybe just relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, and the jaw, and the back of the head, and the back of the tongue, the ears. And allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down and relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And then just notice if there are sounds in your environment. So the main sound I'm hearing this evening is just this guitar. So for me, I'm aware of it being there, and then I just allow it to fade into the background while I bring my attention to my breath. And so for something like this, because it's music and it's interesting and it's not unpleasant, the mind tends to want to go off and investigate. So just for whatever is going on in your background, just allow the sounds to be there, just let them be there. And then notice what's arising in your mind. So whatever's been going on today, thoughts, conversations, emails, and just allow those thoughts to be there. Try not to follow them with the mind. Try not to engage in the story. And if you wish, you can just put those thoughts on a nice white fluffy cloud or a little lotus, or whatever suits you, or you could even put it on the back of a bird. Just watch it fly away. And then bring to mind all these people of our life, our loved ones, our dear ones. Our strangers and the ones we don't like so much, and just notice that these relationships can change place at any time. They're all equal in their wish to be happy, their wish to be free from suffering, and having this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. I think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension all sentient beings, and of course little William the Conqueror. That he can continue to be strong and healthy. So remember, there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We're creating negativity with our mind, so equally we can create positivity instead. So we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and all of our past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason we regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of the future suffering that we ourselves will experience. We know from the present suffering that we don't want it, so logically it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor who has these methods that we can use to purify ourselves. So we're not wanting, Buddha to forgive us. We're not wanting this higher power. We want to do the work ourselves. So we know this Buddha Vajrasattva has these methods that we can use. So it's like this becomes our refuge. And then think, you can visualize Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long, and they're peaceful, and they're full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So here we have this little section on developing compassion, and this is also part of reliance. And why? Because we are relying on sentient beings in order to grow our compassion. So start, first of all, with the people who you've harmed. So bring someone to mind that you've harmed. And then those who have harmed you. And particularly have, compassion is really just this wish for someone to be free from suffering. So particularly the people that have harmed you, have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering in the future. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Zipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Zipokaya Meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shiyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about others behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kamasita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So just imagine all the attachment, neediness, anger, bitterness, grudges, depression, resentment, jealousy. All of this is instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified, and think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even those very subtle imprints of negative energy from our mind stream. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam guru hum ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata humpe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam guru hum ha ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Didu meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shiyam guru hum ha ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam guru hum ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahompe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam guru hum ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahompe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam guru hum ha ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata hum pe. So now feel you're completely purified and imagine there's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. This is this determination to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind. And without this particular determination, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again because we have this habit energies. I just love that expression. And it just kind of leads us to, without even thinking, to say things, do things, post things. So rejoice in your efforts, each other's efforts, the support that you give one another. And then make a decision about a particular habit that you're working on right now. It could be some rumination about a person or a thing or something that happened, something that's past that you actually can't do anything about. It's done, it's finished. And then Vajrasattva's delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. He calls that, that's a traditional way of describing. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, whatever you've heard about it, whatever you know about it, just place your mind there for a moment. And we can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just do 3 more verses of Manjushri's, these verses of Manjushri for the swift return of Lama Supreme Rinpoche. It's called reciting that. That's like the names of Manjushri. The Sun, the Dharma King, the noble Dharma, supreme illuminator of the world, the Dharma Lord, the sovereign of the Dharma, the teacher of the path to excellence. Accomplishing all goals, fulfilling aims, completely free from wants of any kind, bereft of thought, a non-depleting source, the Dharma source supreme beyond decay. Enriched by merit, merits gathering, unique great wisdom, wisdom rich, aware of what exists and what does not, while gathering the twofold gathering. Okay. All right, everybody. Lots of love. Good night. I will see you all tomorrow afternoon. Okay.